Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres, and it's just a fabulous Sunday morning. All right, what I've been doing today, just a little while, we got to leave, but I've been moving stuff around. So places where I have a lot of animals, I have to scrape that up. I put that in the truck, and I'm taking that up to the compost pile, and that's right up there. And then the compost pile from last year, I put that in the truck and I bring it to the garden here. And this is what I've done. I've spread it out on here. So I just kind of dump it out of the back of the truck and then go back over it with the blade and kind of back blade it in. And then I'll rototill that all in. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm having a pretty good time. I got to leave here to go visit my new grandson, though. But I had a question last night that was a good question and a valid question, and it I wanted to speak to it because you know, my greenhouse is right here on the edge of my garden, right? And you can see it's not a huge greenhouse, and I'm a big greenhouse advocate. I'm over here. Okay, and we're low battery again, down to 10%. There was 10% that went pretty fast, but I'm a big advocate of greenhousing because here it's been fairly cold, and yet we look here, and you see what we're doing. We've got plenty of greens to eat, and I'm going to plant some more this week. But I really don't need to go too hog wild here. But this greenhouse enables us to eat greens when everybody else is having to go and buy them from the store. All right? And I'm really thankful for that because I eat them every day. Okay, come on, Smooth. Come on around here. Here we are. That's where I am. But the question last night was, what do you do when you're greenhousing like this in the early spring and you're going to have a frost? Good question. When we're going to have a frost, we're talking 30. And it's usually for a few hours. And the reason we know we had a frost is because there's a lot of dew on the plants. We get up in the morning on the windshields and it has frozen. But it's just a really light layer of water that has frozen. So in the greenhouse, we're not going to have that because that dew will not be in here. One of the things that we're doing in the greenhouse is we're the ones that control the water. So I would not water before you're going to have a frost. However, the water is going to be close to 50 degrees. And that's 20 degrees higher than where water starts to freeze at, or 18. So in a way, it would help you. But if your leaves are dry and in the greenhouse it gets down to 32, 30, 28, you're not going to really have a problem. You're not going to. If somehow they could predict that, hey, it's going to be 20 tonight for 4 hours, I'd play it safe. If they could do that, I'd play it safe. I'd come out and get a fire going. And I just keep it going. This salad is worth it to me because this is enough to keep my family in greens right now. Now, let's say we didn't have the ability to go to the store and buy all this stuff. Well, I'd have this full, This is enough, but I could grow more if I wanted to or if I needed to. So, another thing that you need to know is, let's say it gets really cold. These are all dark green greens. If they do freeze and they're harvestable, do not harvest them when they're still frozen. Let the temperature come up above 32 during the day, then harvest them, and then they'll keep in your fridge, or they'll keep in your house, or your back room, wherever you're going to keep them. We'll cut them every few days, and then when we get done with them, then we have to come out and cut them because they're getting ahead of us. And the other night I was going to have a bowl of ice cream, but my wife said, "Oh, there's too many greens. You're going to have to eat that instead." So ate that before I had my ice cream. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Somebody's got to do it. If it gets so cold that they freeze, and when the temperature comes up, they die and fall over, you don't need my advice then. They're done. Now, when you're talking seedlings on the bench, it's kind of the same thing. If your seedlings are 3-4 inches high and you have a really hard cold and it kills them, it kills them. That's the way it is. You know, you're going to have some wins, some losses. If that's the case, you probably have enough time to restart over again. And, you know, something tragic like that happens, I'd record that somehow on the calendar so you can remember it for the next year that's coming, you know, and kind of start gauging your own operation by what has happened. With that said, I think I'll cut it off for here, and just remember anyone can farm, and go out there and have a good day. Let's get our spring on.